the Class 720. No, not this one, this one. SCR put the 720 into service in December 2017, then upgraded it to 5 cars in April 2018, then added interiors in February 2020, then improved the whole thing in June 2020, and then meshed it on December 2021. What on earth is going on here? As you can probably tell, SCR's fleet of trains has gone through multiple eras ever since the start of the game. So, with this video, I'm going to explain the history of these trains and how they came to be how they are today. Back in 2017, when the game was released, the solution for rolling stock was quite simple. To explain this, we have to leave SCR and go to this game, Mind the Gap, an older train game on Roblox which is made by former developer Ureb. Now, don't ask me if this is allowed or not because it's probably controversial, but basically SCR's early paper models were, for the most part, retextured versions of Ureb's trains. Take this as an example. The Class 707 in its early days looked like this in SCR, but it looked like this in Mind the Gap. See the resemblance? The issue with paper trains is that they were really low standard trains, with no interiors except a few blocks which you can sit on, no cab, no working doors, and pretty much nothing else particularly interesting. The fleet was stuck like this for years, until one fateful video was uploaded by Bantech Systems. It was a new era, a revolutionary concept for little old SCR. It was time for next generation trains to take over. Now, let's make the pretty much compulsory reference to Madgy X 2013, who is the main person responsible for seeing the demise of the paper trains. His idea was quite simple. He would take the paper version of the train, still with the MTG model, build interiors for it, and make various other things like doors which would then be animated. The first trains to be released in this version were the Class 158 and 508, towards the end of April 2019. Over the course of the next several months, it was Madgy's job to slowly recreate every single train model in the entire game, with a fully furnished interior, modelled cab, working animations, and a much cleaner feel. For most of this time, Madgy was serving as SCR's operations director, even when his main focus seemed to be development. One update at a time, more and more trains would be upgraded, but there was a problem. SCR standards were dropping drastically. Whilst Madgy's models were revolutionary, they were falling behind other games such as Grand Continental Railways, which received a full redesign around this time. SCR's trains seemed to be getting a bit old and outdated, so it was time for a change. This chapter unfortunately didn't last very long, as it only applied to the Class 707, 332, 333, 220, 221, 380, 165, 166, 730 and 720. These trains, also built by Madgy, had a few improvements from the previous next generation design, such as CSG livery, new seats and new bogies. Although, these trains weren't great, as they were notorious for not loading in properly, and they still didn't do a great job at resembling their real life counterparts. Madgy's resignation in June 2020 marked the end of both versions of the next generation fleet. It was officially the end of a long and prosperous era. However, that was all about to change on the 11th of August 2020. Overhead wires had recently been re-added to the development team, and for good reason, to make new trains. His first train to be revealed was the Class 802, which was an instant hit. It was a drastic improvement from Madgy's trains, especially the HST with the right angle, with smooth edges, more detailed interiors, and generally better resemblance to real life. The Electrostars followed, then the 802, then the HSTs, then overhead wires suddenly resigned. That wasn't the end though. Two new developers, Mr. Transport Guy and Let's Gaming Dev, began to work on trains themselves, and these are our key rolling stock manufacturers to this day. Since they started, many trains were upgraded one by one into mesh models, looking much better than their old versions, and the Electrostars even got remeshed at one point, and so we've made it to today. If you look on the SCR wiki page, it's quite obvious that nearly every train has been meshed, with the exception of some trains, even including the original 158 and 508 models. They'll all be made eventually, but now is a good time to cherish Madgy's old trains.
confused.
So that's why the Class 720 has been upgraded so many times. It is the only train in the game which has had a version for each and every chapter for various lengths of time. If you look at the 720 now, it's probably the best it can be for a Roblox game, so SCR is heading in the right direction. Anyway, that's all from me. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and maybe subscribe if you want, and I shall see you very soon. Oh, and please upgrade the 68, it still looks like an Oreo.